What is our third main topic today?
Okay, this comes from Kylo Ken. According to the Screen Rant, The Batman will be hitting HBO Max on April 19th. That only gives the film a little over 6 weeks of a theatrical run. Is this a mistake? Will a theatrical run, if only a month and a half, hurt the potential box office? Can't wait to hear your thoughts.
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Kylo. And listen, one of the things that we knew, first of all, one of the dumbest decisions in Hollywood history, one of the most catastrophic disasters for any studio was Warner Brothers' moronic decision to make all of their 2021 films day-and-date releases on HBO Max. An experiment that has utterly failed and has cost that company in the hundreds of millions of dollars and hasn't really done much for HBO Max at all in the first place. With all those big movies they released, what was it that became their number one subscriber draw? Sex in the City. It's funny because it's true.
It is.
And it's 100% true. So here we are now going into 2022, and they're no longer doing the day-and-date release. However, as a result of the pandemic, the new norm in the movie industry, it used to be a 90-day theatrical window. Theatrical window, for those of you who don't know, basically means from the day that a movie opens in theaters, they have an agreement with the theaters that it will not go to any form of home video for at least 90 days after its opening day in theaters. That's what's called the theatrical window. And it is a model that has made a lot of people very rich over the years. It has made the movie companies rich. It's made the distributors rich. It's made the theaters at least be able to keep their doors open. It's made everybody a lot of money. Now, for a long time, distributors have wanted to shorten the theatrical window, and the pandemic has kind of forced everybody's hand. So we now have a brand new theatrical window standard, which is going to be 45 days. There are some exceptions to that. Now, that doesn't mean that a movie will come out on home video after 45 days. It just means that the distributor has the option of putting it out on home video after 45 days is done. So what's happening here is we know that Batman is coming out, and we know now exactly when it's going to be on HBO Max. This comes to us from the folks over at Screen Rant who write, speaking to Vox's Recode via comic book, Killar, that's the CEO of Warner Brothers right now, Jason Killar, revealed that the film will debut on HBO Max on April 19th, 2022. The Batman will join DC's selection of movies and films 46 days after its release, after a 45-day theatrical exclusive window. Killar called the decision a huge change when compared to the company's release schedule in previous years from 2016 to 19. Think about when movies would show up on HBO, which is 8 to 9 months after the theatrical premiere. The Batman is going to show up on day 46 on HBO Max. That is a huge change from where things were in 2018, 2017, 2016. So basically, we've got Batman opening up in theaters in early March, and then 46 days later, in mid-April, it's going to come out on HBO. This is not a surprise. This is the new 45-day window. However, what other studios have the intelligence to do is to say, let's see how this is going before we decide exactly when we're going to debut this on streaming. Spider-Man No Way Home, for example, is making money hand over fist.
Oh, gosh.
Every day they leave that in theater before it going to streaming, they are making more money. And so, I mean, I have nothing official. They may very well on day 46 put Spider-Man No Way Home out on streaming. But I'm going to bet they won't. I'm going to bet they're going to draw that out as much as they can and make as much money as they can before putting it on streaming and then making more money off of it. This, to me, is Jason Killar desperately still trying to figure that hey, the faster we just put this on HBO Max, the better. That hasn't worked. You've had a year and a dozen plus movies that have shown that doesn't work. But it is still after the 45-day window. And I do think we're going to see a lot of movies doing this. So I think if Batman doesn't do well at the box office, then sticking to the day 46 is perfectly fine. If Batman is still rolling after 6 weeks and still pulling in $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 million a week, then you postpone putting it on HBO Max. You continue until that dries up a little bit more, gather as much profit as you can, and then put it on HBO Max and gain that benefit from it there. And he's right. This is a game changer from when you'd have to wait like 8 months to a year for a movie to come out on HBO Max. Mm-hmm. And that was too long of a time. So this is a good change. I think they're just gonna have to wait to see how it actually does, and then we'll go. But it sounds like Jason Kilar's like, nope, it doesn't matter how good Batman's doing in theaters. We're putting it out on HBO Max. One of the reasons why, by the way, the moment Discovery takes over Warner Brothers, Jason Kilar's out the door. I mean, everybody knows that. The first person that's gone is going to be Jason Kilar, and I think he knows that. But at any rate, I think it's perfectly fine, though. To be honest with you, it's a 45-day window. That is going to be the new standard. I think he should leave himself some flexibility just in case Batman's doing really well to then push that off a little bit. But I don't know, it's the 45-day window, so nothing news here. Did you take anything away from this, Kim?
I mean, streaming is the Wild West, and this is trial and error, and you have streaming growing plus a pandemic. So for this new frontier, there's been a lot of challenges, a lot of bumps in the road. I mean, if I were to play devil's advocate and say, look, Warner Brothers thought we'd be shut in for a year and they tried to make the best plan possible. Turned out that wasn't the case. This is not a great situation. A lot of films have been screwed, but I feel like as streaming finds its way, this is one of those things that's either going to be proved to be a good idea or let's not go this way. I prefer let's see how this goes, and then I will tell you when we're putting it on streaming. Because I want to see how the market's going. And not just that, the pandemic. We've got so many elements. So it's a trial and error period. And I think they might find this was a mistake. But, we'll see.
Yeah, it might be perfectly fine. I mean, you never know. I mean, it is exciting, though, that we are this close to Batman coming out. I am very, very excited about this.
I'm starting to get really, now that Spider-Man is, not done, but now that I've seen it three times, my energy is finally dispersing. I'm no longer the little kid that's my energy. I'm excited for Boba Fett. I'm super excited for Batman. And I'm like, I can now look to the future.
We can now start getting excited about what's coming down the road. Like the Batman, for example.
For some strange reason, I think his plan will work better for me only because that 45 days, that's too long to wait to see a movie like this for me. So I'm going to the theater.
Right, yeah.
But the way it works against him is that I know it's coming on HBO Max. So after I see it the first time, I won't get a second ticket. I'll just wait for it to get onto see. So it works in both ways. But who knows if I was even going to plan on seeing it, a second time.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I think there's going to be a lot of people. Look, comic book movie fans, they're not going to wait 45 days.
No way.
No.
Comic book movie fans are going to go to the theater. The question becomes, do they go back to the theater 3 or 4 times to see it when they know now I've only got 4 weeks to wait for it to be out on HBO, and then get it for free and give no more money to Warner Brothers. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see but I think it's still going to have this won't affect its opening weekend at all. This isn't going to affect Batman's opening weekend, opening week. It's not because a lot of people who want to go see this, they're not going to wait 6 weeks to watch it on HBO Max. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of long-term things this have. All right, anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? We know the new theatrical window is 45 days, and Jason Kilar saying, okay, great, day 46, here comes Batman on HBO. Good move, bad move, whatever, who cares? I'm just excited to see the Batman. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.